Hey guys, how you doing? Welcome to Keto Paleo Live. This is your big bad Keto Daddy saying, "Hi!" if you hear me. All right, so today we're going to be focusing mainly on the new Keto Check app, and Keto Check is only currently available on iTunes or the Apple Store. So if you're on Android, wait patiently. The build out is going on right now. We were waiting to work out a lot of the bugs on the Apple platform. So let's go on over. We brought the iPad in. We're going to go over how to use some of the basics on this and what exactly you get with the new version of Keto Check 2.0. And mainly we'll talk about the BMR that I have built into that, which is your basal metabolic rate, or how many calories you need a day, and where those macros should be coming from if in fact you're working with a ketogenic diet. So come on over here. We got it set on the reverse hyper. So I'm just going to have Daryl and film over my shoulder here. So we'll go to the first screen you come to. So this is Keto Check. You good? This is Keto Check My Food. Sorry about for the glare on there, you guys. So this is just Keto Check My Food. This is almost the original version of Keto Check that I developed the first go around, Keto Check 1.0. And the whole idea behind this one was kind of just a training wheels for people trying to learn what a ketogenic food looks like, or what a ketogenic ratio should be or look like. So if you were new to even looking at nutrition labels, and you were looking at food labels and you were typing in something off the back, let's go with something like 12 total carbohydrates. Notice we got fat, total carbohydrates, fiber, sugar alcohols, and proteins. This is all available on the back of a product or food, usually on the label, or you can find it online, and you're trying to find an idea of what a ketogenic food would look like. So let's put in some generic numbers. 21 grams of fat, total carbohydrates 12. Let's say it has 6 grams of fiber. Let's say 3 of that's actually from sugar, and then a sugar alcohol, let's say like erythritol or something like that's in there, and I don't know. Come on. Got to make sure your screen's clean when you start these things. And then you can make the keyboard disappear. Done. So here we go. Here's the generic label, and right now you'll notice that I have it on total carbohydrates, and it'll give you your ratio. Actually, it'll give you a percentage ratio. Here you'll see your grams that you entered. This is considering total carbohydrates, and you'll get 18% from carbs, 10% from protein, and 71% from fat. So that would ideally, per our little recommendation here, be a great percentage. If you are in the metabolic world and maybe you're dealing with a patient or a person who's dealing with seizures and stuff like that, this ratio is really important to a lot of people. So this is basically the one part is your carbohydrate and protein to fat ratio. That being said, some of you who are a little more savvy on your fibers know that some of your digestible fibers from your soluble or non-soluble fibers will be able to switch up to total carbohydrate minus fiber. Here gives you a different ratio. Now we have 10% from carbohydrate, 11% from protein, and 78.4% from fat, and you'll notice that our ratio changed. And the nice thing about Keto Check is it'll do it right on the fly for you. Okay, and say you were even a little more savvy about your molecules, and you know that the sugar alcohol you're using is erythritol. Erythritol almost passes through inertly, and you really don't have to worry about the digestibility of that. So now you can flip up between total carbohydrates minus fiber and sugar alcohols. Now you're up to a 4.3 to 1 ratio, 6.9% carb, 12% protein, and 81% fat. Now, why did I include all of these? Everyone has to find their way. Everyone finds their journey, okay? So in the beginning, there's some camps out there that are really just hardcore total carbohydrate. Dr. Adam Nally, Dr. Eric Westman say when they're doing stuff, just keep on the screen, they're just very much into total carbohydrate count, just not to confuse the issue more or less. As you get more savvy and find out what works for you, you may get a little more savvy with your fibers and know which ones are soluble and which ones aren't, like some of the corn fibers and stuff like that out there don't digest, they pass through inertly, it's just basically roughage for us passing through. And then if you even get a little better with your sugar alcohols, I know that a lot of the good stuff at Quest and especially in the keto line, will use something like erythritol as a sweetener, or their new cereal bar comes out as allulose, and that's actually a sugar that digests through as a fiber. You don't really see that. It doesn't come up on your glucose panel. So this was the original Keto Check with a little more bells and whistles. I added the ratio in there for you guys that are a little more into that kind of thing. We can shift between, you know, like I said, total carbohydrates minus fiber, blah, blah, blah. And this will help guide you. This is like Training Wheels Keto 101. Okay, so I also included in the new version a way to add a meal. So say you want to check a meal at a glance, and when you get a little more keto savvy, that's really what it comes down to. So we'll say new meal. Sorry, my screen isn't very clean. And then we'll add a food. Oh, I should have named it. Anyway, we'll just add something here. Let's say egg. And this searches a database and will come up with some information for you. And yes, you do have to be on Wi-Fi or using data. And you can shift between amounts of data, how many ounces, tablespoons, cups. I usually go down to, going the wrong way. And this is actually completely dictated by the database. This is something that I didn't have control over. So you kind of got to find your way, and then you can check which one you want. So you got eggs, 4 fluid ounces, add it to your meal. And then let's say you want to add some olive oil just to get your fat up. And a lot of this database is generics. If you're really looking to dial in the absolute brand that you have, you may have to enter it in manually, which you can do. And my screen is, there we go. Let's say 3. Check it. And just for simplicity's sake, we'll leave it at that. So we had 4 ounces of eggs, 3 tablespoons of olive oil. It'll tell you your grams for that meal. So if you're a grams counter person, you got that right here. If you are a percent counting ratio person, you have that available. If you want to play with your carbohydrates minus fiber, you got that, and you also have your ratio. So as you get dialed into a ketogenic diet, you'll find out that it is more of a meal by meal kind of thing, how it affects your blood sugar, and that's really what's more important. I know that we try to come up with a balance for the day, which is practical and impractical all at the same time, because we aren't a checkbook. Okay, so it's not exactly a balance sheet, but I also understand that people like a place to start. They don't understand. So if you had multiple meals entered in there for the day, say you got breakfast, lunch, and a dinner, you can check it off.
Someone asked, can we already use this app?
Yeah, this is not available on Apple. So this is only on Apple right now. The Android build out is going on right now. So it's only 99 cents. Head on over to the iStore, iTunes, and you can use it. You can play it on your phone and iPads, and I don't know if anyone's actually loaded it on a laptop. I'm not an Apple guy, so I'm kind of at the mercy of you guys letting me know. So back to checking, this is to be able to check all 3 meals for the day. Total grams for the day, carbohydrates minus fiber, different meals that you did, and at a glance you can see how your day ended up going. And those meals will be saved in there, because another thing that I found over 25 plus years of doing different types of meal plans, whether it was, it doesn't matter what kind, if it was in a ketogenic diet, bodybuilding diet, whatever ratios, most people, when they're trying to cut weight or stay on a plan, they pretty much eat the same stuff every day. With a few exceptions. I know for a fact that the majority of my friends will eat 3 eggs and 2 pieces of bacon almost religiously every single day. And it really comes down to what are you doing about 95% of the time anyway. So I didn't back this up with a huge database, even though you could label out every single thing that you wanted to, and you could probably on this page fill out your whole week, month, year. It depends how nuts you want to get. But the majority of this is, are you 100% loyal 80% of the time, you'll probably be successful. So on to the BMR. This is where all the magic happens, so to speak. So This is a real generic BMR, and if you are into, like say maybe you're really into the Keto Gains one and you like that, go ahead, use it, and check your macros with the rest of the options on here. This is the one that I have been using with my clients and friends, and it seems to get everyone started in the right track. So let's type in Jamie's weight. Jamie is 71, age, never mind that, age 44, and here's an activity chart. People ask, where does this very heavy activity, moderate activity? This is usually construction workers and waitresses that are running around all day. Most of us desk jockeys, and even regardless if you train like a beast an hour a day, is in the sedentary to mild activity, because that one little hour a day has very little to do with your overall calorie burning. Even if you just totally CrossFit bust ass for an hour, you may only still be in a mild activity, because the rest of us in this day and age, unless you're a waitress running around all day or a construction worker working a wheelbarrow doing cement flat work, this is the area you're in. Most of us drive to the office, sitting down, sit at the office. Oh, I get up and walk around and run to the copier. Ooh, big deal. And then they drive all the way home, another 40-minute drive, and then sit down, eat TV, watch TV most of the time. So that's definitely throwing us in the sedentary to mild activity level. Okay. So I also put in an average person and athlete person. The only difference between these two is that I give you a little more protein by percentage for athletes, and this is people who are everything from runners to CrossFitters to weightlifters, because I feel that you can metabolize a little more protein, and you may need it depending on where you're at. Again, this is cookie cutter stuff. This is just a number to get you guys started. This is not set in stone, but I realize people need a place to start. So let's hide the keyboard, and we'll go up to the part that everybody's asking about. What's this little slide do? This is a deficiency and an addition slide. And what this does, and I don't know if you can see it around my thumb, is it'll take, so we're in a ketogenic diet. Our protein is set based on average and athlete. Our carbs are set because we usually keep them in a small percentile, if not under 50 grams a day. The deficit fat, depending on your goal. If you are trying to lose body fat, you probably want to slide it to the left and give yourself at least a 10 to 15% deficiency. That comes only from the fat. I keep your carbs fixed and I keep your protein fixed for basic metabolic needs and building or muscle building reasons, enzymes, etc. If you are trying to gain weight, you might want to slide it up to the 15% increase, 10 to 15% increase. And this is based off a very generic basal metabolic rate calculator called the Harris-Benedict formula. And the reason I like that is because it has an age coefficient in there. Beat me up over this, that's fine, but everyone needs a place to start. It becomes very, let me state a million times, this becomes very individualized. Like I said, we are not a checkbook. This is not math. If this was such an exact science, it would be so easy. Our biology is very complex. Things are going to come into play. Stress levels, amount of sleep, hormone deficiencies, what type of diet did you come to before you started a ketogenic diet? What kind of things did you... fungus overgrowths. So those are all kinds of different things that can affect this diet. So, but like I said, people come to me, they ask for, we need help, we need numbers. So use Keto Check to get started. It's a great tool for you to find your way. Will you end up dialing it in for yourself? Yeah, of course you will. It's also going to be based on your goals. If you're a type 2 diabetic and you just want to get out of, taking insulin, you're going to have a different goal than a guy who is trying to get shredded. Or if you start this journey and you lived out of a Speedway gas station and you were 500 pounds, your ketogenic diet success is going to be different between 500 to 400, 400 to 300, 300 to 200 until you get to where you want to be. Before you get to where you want to be healthy enough, which is a big individualized kind of thing. I would put myself at a ketogenic elitist at this point. I try to eat real food as much as possible. My treats are really minimal. I use a paleo grocery list, so dairy is a very small part of my ketogenic diet. If I'm having dairy, it's considered a big deal, a treat. But I am at that level now. Someone starting out could be very successful. Like I said, if you're living most of your life out of a Speedway, eating out 10 times a week, most of that McDonald's and fries, your success rate could be very different than what I need at this point. So again, Keto Check 2.0, a very useful tool to get started for you guys to help you find your way. Keep the questions coming. Keep the feedback coming on the app. I've had a ton of good feedback. Keto Check 3.0 is going to look so badass already just from the feedback you guys give me. Share it with your friends. It's only 99 cents. Get me the feedback. I want to help you guys. This is what this is all about. KetoDaddy.com launched this week too. We put it on another platform, Shopify. I'm going to keep growing that. Let me know what you want on KetoDaddy. If you want more meters, I got the ketonics on there now. I'm working on blood meters and pee strips for those that are starting their journey for that kind of thing. T-shirt sales. Help me out with t-shirt sales. Someone had a great idea this week. I'm going to start donating, once I start making money on it, I'm going to start donating a certain percentage towards different foundations that use ketogenic therapies and diets to help people. Keto Pet, Charlie Foundation, anything metabolic that's using these diets. Great idea. Loved that write-in. So a percent of those proceeds from now on from KetoDaddy.com will go to help people in this world. So again, thank you guys for your time. Have a happy Sunday. This is your big bad Keto Daddy saying holla if you hear me. And remember, eat like you care about yourself. Have a good day, guys. Bye.